We welcome you to Turner Field in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight it's game 2 of a 4-game series between the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies. Braves playing good baseball the last couple of ball games and trying to make it 3 wins in a row behind Tommy Hanson tonight. And good evening, friends, with Joe Simpson and Tom Glavine. Chip Carey back at the ballpark. We've seen some dramatic plays by the Braves the last 2 ball games. Chipper Jones, a game-winning homer. Chris Medlin, a gem yesterday. And tonight, fellas, really need Tommy Hanson to pitch well. He's winning, but he is struggling as well.
No, the Braves really do need him to get things going and feed off of the great pitching that Chris Medlin did yesterday and has continued to do. That's what Tommy Hanson wants to go out there and do tonight. You see his last 7 starts, 2-2 with a 6.6 ERA. So not exactly the kind of numbers you want to see, at least from an ERA and an opponent batting average against. Like you said, Chip, he has managed to win some of those games, but there's no question he's going to have to start pitching better.
Saw a lot of walks in there too, Tommy, and it seems like every time lately that Tommy's gone out there, he's been in the stretch the whole inning. He doesn't have any real quick 1, 2, 3 innings. Hopefully tonight he can get strike one. I think that'll be important to his success tonight. If he can get ahead in the count, maybe he can have some quicker innings.
Drew Pomeranz, a young left-hander, will pitch for the Colorado Rockies, who continue with their very unique pitch count for their pitchers in rotation. Pomeranz will be limited to no more than 75. It has been a fabulous final season for Chipper Jones. Another highlight came here in Atlanta 2 nights ago. We'll break down Chipper's final 2012 campaign with Tom Hart when we come back to Turner Field right after this.
Series between the Braves and the Colorado Rockies. Another great night for baseball, and Chipper Jones is back in the lineup, hitting third tonight for Freddie Gonzalez's Braves. It's tough to measure just how great his last season has been so far, but if you measure it by clutch hits and you ask the Philadelphia Phillies, there may not be another last season like this. On May 2nd, he walked off the Phillies once in a dramatic comeback. The Braves had to fight once, twice, and 3 times to dispatch their foes in the East. And then just a couple of days ago, he was at it again against one of the best closers in baseball. This 3-run home run walked off the Phillies for the second time this season, and it came against Jonathan Papelbon. So how do you measure it? Well, you could go by OPS plus, on-base percentage plus slugging, or batting average. But something to keep in mind is this. Chipper's 135 OPS is one of just 10 that have been that good since 1901. Of those 10, well, 2 of them were part of the Black Sox scandal. Barry Bonds was ostracized from the game, and Roberto Clemente died a tragic death before he could really hit his prime. Will Clark, Mickey Mantle, and Ted Williams, pretty good company for a guy who's going out on top. And tonight, he hopes to go out once again with another big hit. No matter how you measure it and what stat you use, those who have been here and seen some of Big Chipper's big hits, well, those are moments they will likely never forget. Maybe we'll get another one tonight as Chipper returns to the starting lineup. Game 2 of this 4-game series as the Braves look to continue their fantastic defense. They showed it off yesterday, and they want to do it again behind the pitching of Tommy Hanson against Drew Pomeranz. First pitch with Chip. Joe and Tom is coming up next.
By Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Toyota. We are ready to go here in Atlanta. It looks like Tommy Hanson's on the top step and ready to climb to the center of the diamond as the Braves try to take the first 2 against the Colorado Rockies. What a ball game for Chris Medlin yesterday. Beat him 6-1.
Martin just got a wave, kind of a 5 from Tommy Hanson, who's got more on his mind. And Martin was just like, what are you doing? You standing me up here? Hey. Made him go through the whole routine. It was good.
So Prado's ready to go, and the Braves try to keep momentum alive. That remarkable finish against the Phillies. Then the complete game for Chris Medlin, who Tommy was just brilliant once again. 85 strikes among the 111 pitches he threw yesterday.
Yeah, that's filling the strike zone and filling it with quality pitches. He's been, as we've talked about, he's been spectacular and certainly a real boost to the rotation.
And if you missed Braves Live, shame on you, for that's when we told you that Chris Medlin, Joe, was named the National League's Pitcher of the Month.
And why not? When you go 4-0 with an 0.50 ERA, there were some other guys that had some pretty good months, but nothing like Chris Medlin. 4 walks, 35 strikeouts, great numbers, lowest ERA as you see in the major leagues in August.
So Tommy Hanson is on the mound, is ready to go for game 2 against Colorado. Jim Tracy's Rockies have Atlanta native Dexter Fowler in the leadoff spot. He's having a terrific season. We got our first look at Josh Rutledge yesterday. He's filling in for Troy Tulowitzki. It looks like a real good player. Willen Rosario and Jordan Pacheco are Rookie of the Year candidates. And Drew Pomeranz, the former Indians #1 pick, will pitch and hit 9th.
They'll be facing Braves right-hander Tommy Hanson, making his 26th start of the year, 12-7 with a 4.45. You see his splits on the year. The first 10, 5-3 with a 3 ERA. His last 15, still winning, 7-4, but the ERA's up. The opponent batting average is certainly up, and that's something that Tommy wants to start getting those numbers going in a better direction for sure.
Yeah, it's the highest batting average against him for the year for any of the Braves starting pitchers at 275. His 4 keys to pitching success: too many base runners. And that is really over the last 3 starts and 2 losses in that stretch. 29 base runners in those 3 starts. 2 of them he didn't get out of the 5th inning, and strike 1. I said before that it was imperative for him to get ahead tonight. Might shorten some innings for him. Let's see if he can get strike 1 in on some of these Colorado Rocky hitters.
And it seems like from the things that I've been reading and some of the guys I talked to in the clubhouse before the game, it all gets back to his fastball command. He's got to get that fastball more under control.
Dexter Fowler missed a double on the game's first pitch, but it is strike 1. 74 degrees, the official game time temperature. Very cloudy day here in Atlanta, but the skies are clearing at the ballpark. Gentle breeze blowing ever so slightly out toward right center. No swing for Fowler. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball hammered toward right center field. Hayward on the run, and he makes the catch knee high. If he doesn't get that, Fowler's going to run for a while.
That was some great closing speed there. Great angle taken by Jason. I thought that was a gapper for sure. It was hit hard. Nice play.
Yeah, you'd like your first out of the game to be a little bit easier, but you sure do appreciate your teammate going out there and making a play like that to get things started. So hopefully that'll be a good confidence booster here.
This kid doesn't need much more confidence. Josh Rutledge hitting .342 for the Rockies. Was 1 for 4 in the game yesterday. Two quick strikes to the former University of Alabama player, Josh Rutledge. Hanson strikes him out. Good start for Hanson. 2 up, 2 down. Here's a look at the umpiring crew. Different set of umps for game 2 of this series. Scott Berry will have the plate. Jordan Baker's a young umpire at first. Gary Darling is at second. And Paul Emmel is over at third. Carlos Gonzalez had 2 hits yesterday and scored Colorado's only run. That run snapped Chris Medlin's long scoreless streak. And Cargo hitting .311 with 21 homers for the year. That's Jim Tracy, the Rockies skipper. His club 55 and 78, last place in the National League West. But trying something never before done, I guess, over an extended period of time in the way that they manage their pitching staff. We'll talk about that when Pomeranz takes the mound.
Actually, there was one attempt at this a long time ago, back when Tony La Russa was a manager in Oakland, that long ago. where they fiddle around a little bit with kind of a tandem rotation type setup.
Ripped into the seats foul.
It didn't last long, and I don't think it got near the publicity that this is getting.
Because they're committed to this for the rest of this year and 2013, and that was my point. They're not going to just try this. They're going to do this pitching experiment. And Gonzalez, a line drive into center, and Tommy Hanson has a 1-2-3 opening frame. That's an encouraging sign. And Pomeranz will come to the mound for Colorado here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Braves for skipper Freddie Gonzalez. The Braves 6.5 behind Washington in the National League East. And Reed Johnson back in the lineup in left field. Martin Prado's in at second base. David Ross with that sore side still catching, and good to see Chipper Jones back playing and hitting third tonight.
They'll be facing Rockies left-hander Drew Pomeranz, 1-8 on the year with a 5.13 ERA. You see his splits. First half 1-3 with a 3, not much run support there, but the second half of the year 0-5 with a 7 ERA. So things haven't been quite as good the second half of the year for him.
As you know, the Braves have seen more left-handed starters than any other team in baseball, and this is their first look at Pomeranz.
His Fort Keys tonight, trouble with the curve. He's got a real good curve ball, but can't throw it for strikes.
Bourne bunts. Gets it past the mound, and he beats it out. A bunt single for Michael Bourne.
His other key, quicker innings, same thing applies to him. To throw more strikes. I'd like to see him do more of that. Michael, that is.
Perfect guy to do it. Left-hander, falls off the mound a little bit. You want that ball down the first base side, and it's a tough play for a pitcher that falls off to the third base side to recover on.
So Pomeranz already in the stretch with Reed Johnson in the batter's box. And Joe's point about quicker innings will apply to every Colorado starter we'll see. Their starters are limited to a maximum of 75 pitches.
Well, maybe that's why they want to have longer innings, because they know they're not going to be out there very long anyway, so they're trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, that's kind of what Chatwood tried yesterday, and he only lasted 3. And through his allotment.
And strike one to Reed Johnson.
He's got a good fastball. His fastball rated between 91, 94, but he's got a little bit of a natural cutter action to it. That works pretty well, but you can't survive in this league. You might go 1-8 with a 5 ERA if you try to get away with just one pitch.
Tough to do.
And That's what he's doing so far for Colorado this year. But he's a very highly acclaimed pitcher. He was the 5th overall pick in the draft by the Indians. Cleveland traded him to the Rockies for Ubaldo Jimenez. Pomeranz was the SEC Pitcher of the Year 2 years ago and made the jump from A-ball to the big leagues in his first professional season.
He's got an interesting arm action, one that almost looks like a catcher getting ready to throw to second, and might give the hitters a chance to see the ball out of his hand nicely.
Two balls and a strike. And it's ripped into the seats. Reed Johnson hits lefties exceptionally well. He's hitting him at a .342 clip. Ground ball right side. Good pickup by DJ LeMahieu, and he throws out Reed Johnson. But it advances Michael Bourne to second, and here's Chipper Jones. And Chipper, the subject of our Georgia Lottery, hitting the jackpot.
And that's been his work here at home. Last 40 home games, 9 homers, 28 RBIs, pretty nifty batting average. Braves got 2 in the first last night, got some help yesterday afternoon, got some help from the Rockies. They made 2 errors in the inning, but got the day started in the right way. Maybe Atlanta can score here in the first again tonight.
Bourne's going to try to steal third, and he's going to be out. Michael runs it out, number 2 at third base.
Catcher is a little bit of a clank behind the plate at times, but he's got a really good arm, Rosario. And they were really holding Michael close. He didn't have a good enough lead to be successful that time.
Well, Freddie Gonzalez has said all year long that Michael Bourne has a green light to go anytime he feels he can make it, and there are no repercussions if he doesn't. That, though, the second out of the inning with Chipper in the batter's box. And a ground ball deep short. Rutledge a long throw, and the scoop at first in time. Chipper Jones thought Pacheco was off the bag, and he was off the bag. The home plate umpire, Scott Berry, comes in and helps out the call of Jordan Baker at first, and Chipper's aboard with 2 outs.
Good hustle. I don't know if I've ever seen a home plate umpire do that before.
I haven't, that's for sure. Maybe in a Little League game, but not up here.
Especially one to overrule the call. Look how far off the bag Pacheco is. No way that Jordan Baker could see that.
Now remember, the Rockies got the benefit of a call like that defensively at Coors Field. Remember, Todd Helton was about 5 feet off the bag.
Was he that close?
Yeah, good point. But you're right, Joe. Great hustle, great rotation by these umpires to get the call right.
I've never seen that happen before, especially to overrule a call.
And that has scored a base hit, by the way, for Chipper.
Scott Berry trailing the play, saying, hold on. Look how far down the line he was.
You know who'll be really happy about that besides Chipper is Bruce Fleming, umpiring supervisor, who's here at the ballpark tonight. You know he'll make a notation on the work by this crew, justifiably so.
I don't know, like you say, whether or not I've ever seen that call, let alone the umpires do that. I wonder if that's a result of the play with Todd Helton that they made that adjustment.
Good question. I bet it had something to do with it, because it only makes sense. Nothing else going on. You don't have to worry about a play at the plate. There wasn't a runner at third, so follow the play and give some help if needed.
The Braves get an extra out. Let's see if Freddie can take advantage. And it's into the upper deck right above the press box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie's had a good homestand. He's 5 for 11. That's tipped and caught, and Pomeranz is out of inning number 1. The Braves get 2 hits, but no runs, and we head to a scoreless second inning. Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Young fans enjoying the start of Game 2 of this series with the Colorado Rockies. The Braves have won all 4 matchups with Colorado this year. The Braves swept them at Coors Field in May. Here's Willen Rosario, the Colorado catcher.
He's the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. National League ranks among rookies. Bryce Who, 23 homers, 58 RBIs, runs, extra base hits, all among the leaders and rookies. This is the second guy from the National League West that we've talked about in the last week to 10 days and how they're kind of fresh to us in terms of their numbers because we get so laden with Bryce Harper information playing in the National League East. But these guys certainly worthy of Rookie of the Year attention too.
And he drives this ball to right field, but Jason Hayward's going to track it down. 4 up, 4 down for Tommy Hanson.
Well, those are certainly really good numbers for a rookie, but you know the first thing out of everybody's mouth is going to be, wow, he's playing in Colorado.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, but
And he's playing on a last place team while Harper and the Nationals enjoy the top spot in the East. Here's Tyler Colvin, former Cub, playing right field for Colorado. 17 homers, 63 RBIs. Tyler's a Georgia boy, was born in Augusta, lives in North Augusta, South Carolina, played college ball at Clemson. Former #1 pick of the Cubs back in 2006. And he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Jordan Pacheco is a red-hot Rockies hitter and is our Delta Airlines on deck batter.
Rockies ought to have a pretty good following tonight with some guys from the Southeast. Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. Colvin just talked about from Clemson. Well represented from this part of the country, and a lot of family and friends here for those guys.
Dangerous pitch for Colvin. 3 balls and a strike. And Hansen walks Tyler Colvin. 1 on, 1 out. And here is Pacheco.
Tommy's last start, 4 2/3 against the Padres. 8 hits and 2 walks in those 4 2/3 innings. So again, base runners everywhere out of the stretch all the time. It's good to see him go through the first inning 1, 2, 3.
And the leadoff man was on in 4 of Tommy's 5 innings that he started. And your point, Joe, about strike 1. Hansen threw strike 1 to 11 of 23 hitters.
That's a little better than his season average, which is right around 61%.
Tonight he's 3 out of 6 in throwing strike 1. And as you know, Tommy at times has trouble holding runners. Colvin has a big lead, and off he goes. Ross, quick release. Got him. David Rice guns out Tyler Colvin. 2 outs.
It's like a middle infielder. Catch and throw. Watch this. Quick hands, quick release, and on target.
That's why I said Rice. David Ross, of course.
Jerry Rice.
Exactly. Fly ball to right. Sorry, David Ross. Good throw. And a good end to the Colorado second inning.
Score, and all you girls out there, Girls Night Out is back at Turner Field on Friday, September the 14th, as the Braves take on the Nationals. Tickets are $35 and include an outfield seat, access to pregame party, and a special Braves hat and a feather boa. Chip, you probably wear one of those.
No question.
Sure. Visit Braves.com/GNO today for tickets.
That'll be fun. The old chop house will be hopping that night.
Yes, it will. Martin Prado's ready to go. He too with a good homestand brewing for the Braves, and had a hit yesterday and drove in a run. And he's been hot all year long, and especially so in his last 22 games. That's our SunTrust solid performance.
If every other game is a multi-hit game, that's not bad, because if you carry on that through the season, and even if in between is an offer, you're going to have 162 hits. Any way you slice it, that's a pretty good season.
Well, with that good work, Martin Prado has taken over the team lead in hits at the start of play tonight. Bourne tied him with 157 with his bunt single in the opening inning. And that caught a corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martin's only seen the Rockies 7 at bats this year. This is his 8th. I recall back in May when the Braves were in Denver, he was real sick. They sent him back to the hotel and kind of isolated him from the rest of the ball club. As he shoots this ball toward Colvin and right, headed for the corner is the Rockies right fielder, and he makes the catch on the track. We're out 1. Hit that ball a long way the other way.
Despite his struggles to get a win over his last 9 starts for Pomerantz, his command's been pretty good his last 2 starts. Only 1 walk total in those 2 starts. And at least so far, his fastball command tonight's been pretty good.
I'm sure, Tommy, you'd agree he's got a big advantage the first time through the lineup. Braves haven't seen him anywhere but on tape.
Oh, absolutely. It's always, when you haven't seen a guy in the batter's box, there's still that feeling out process a little bit. And any left-hander who's getting his fastball up there 90, 92 miles an hour is going to be a challenge in and of itself. And if he's able to locate that fastball, even more so.
It's fouled at the plate, and Jason's still alive. No balls, 2 strikes. How would you guys characterize this man's arm action?
It's a little bit funky. You know, it's not your standard.
High fly down the left field line. That will head for the stands.
And he's kind of got that long. It's long coming out of his glove. Then he kind of gets it out pretty quickly. Where I don't think there's a lot of deception from a hitter standpoint. I think he can pick the ball up pretty quickly. So, you know, that might be something he works on over time to hide it behind him a little bit longer.
Back up the middle. Rutledge, nice pickup. And Hayward beats that out. Couple of infield hits for Atlanta, 3 in the game, and Hayward's hustle pays off with 1 out.
Once this guy got by the pitcher, pretty much knew it was going to be a base hit the way Jason can run, even with a stutter step there at the bag.
And again, falling off the mound, that's 2 balls now that if he finishes in a little bit better position, I think are pretty routine plays for him, and they turned out to be base hits.
Here's David Ross.
You know, what you're talking about with your delivery is you want the pitcher to end up in a good fielding position. Well, you see here what he's falling off is that ball, if he stays in a good fielding position facing home plate when he finishes, that's a chest-high 1 hopper that should be a routine play. Now, it's easier said than done because that's kind of obviously his natural motion, and you don't ever want to sacrifice stuff to fix a motion, but that might be something he works on going forward. And that one there, he was a little bit more under control.
Yeah, good balance on that one.
Anytime you can help yourself out and make those plays, it's less stress, less base runners, less things you have to worry about, easy outs that you want to take advantage of, and count down those 27.
Another scouting report I saw on him indicated that he doesn't hold runners too well, that he doesn't have a particularly good move, and that may have been the same report that Michael Bourne read, thinking he could get a good jump off second last inning. I think he got a good jump. He just didn't have a very big lead.
Away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still can't get over the ball David hit yesterday that got past Dexter Fowler.
Neither can Dexter. He was still talking about it before the game today.
David hit a ball that looked like it was headed for right center, and it took a big time left-handed turn while in midair. It fooled Fowler, it fooled everybody. The Braves got 2 runs as a result. And now 3-2.
Take a look at this. We'll try to help you track this. You can see the ball right there. And then watch what it does. Headed to right center and then curves back to left center. And Dexter Fowler had to change directions too, and he and Michael Bourne were talking about it before the game. Freddie Gonzalez said after the game he couldn't wait to see the video because he said, I've never seen a ball do that before.
Yeah, you see it kind of going the other way, like if he was slicing it. Very seldom do you. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hook that drastically like that.
Moran's paying close attention to Jason Hayward, who's got 19 steals. Full count pitch coming to David Ross. And 2 are on with 1 out. First walk of the game for the Rockies left-hander. 3 infield hits so far for Atlanta. The Braves have a scoring chance in the 2nd inning. Ball hitting 194 for the year. And now an even count.
He's throwing that cutter at about 89 to 90. I think his 4-seam was a little better than that. But I mean, I can see it from our angle. It's got some pretty good movement on it, more than just a little 2 or 3 inch cutter.
If he's able to cut it, and then he's able to throw that one there where he can throw it on the outside corner, that certainly is a good start foundationally. Now if you can get that curveball more consistent and maybe develop a changeup or something that you're throwing away to right-handed hitters, now you got a lot to work with.
I got some help from the truck, but his arm action reminded me of someone that I couldn't put a name on. Remember Greg Swindell?
Mm-hmm.
He had a similar cocking motion with his arm action.
I said to Tommy in between breaks, almost like a left-handed Tommy Hansen. Tommy has the, I guess you'd call it a cocking mechanism or a hitch of some sort. Two on, one out. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Giannis. And Rosario knocked that down. Joe mentioned that Rosario's got a little bit of a problem with the glove from time to time. 15 passed balls for Rosario this year.
Yeah, he's going to have to work on his defense. He throws great, good arm, but as you said, Chip, the glove work could stand some improvement.
So he's gone full again, and now the pitch is starting to pile up for Pomeranz. It's always a consideration. He's up to 40 now, and it's only the 2nd inning. Popped up. Pacheco on the infield fly will handle it first. And Giannis is out number 2, and Tommy Hansen the hitter.
Tommy's due. 1 for 40 on the year, and I don't remember the hit. It's been a while.
Every time I see him when he's starting, that's usually something I mention to him, because you guys know how I like to give my pitchers props when they get some hits, but he hasn't been making it easy for me.
Tommy Hansen's hit was his 2nd start of the year in Houston.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, he's hitting like 333 at Gwinnett.
Yeah. Okay.
So on his rehab there, Tom Hart told us he got a hit then.
So early April for Hansen. Takes 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bingo.
Now a ball and 2 strikes. His next pitch will be the 30th of this 2nd inning.
And he hasn't given up a run. That's unusual for that many pitches.
To second. LeMahieu makes the play, and that will retire the side. The Braves have stranded 3 runners in the first 2 innings, and we have no score. Heroics here against the Phillies. And then yesterday, Chris Medlin pitched another beauty, a complete game. Victory over the Colorado Rockies. And Joe, it's been an amazing run for Chris back in rotation.
Well, I'd tell you what I enjoyed yesterday was the way he finished. He had 12 strikeouts, but 6 of those came in the last 3 innings, including the last 2 of the ball game. So he had no trouble going the full distance.
And here is the reigning National League Pitcher of the Month, Chris Medlin. Congratulations, Chris.
Hey guys, thanks. Yeah. I tried my best to get the fans to come out tonight, but looks like traffic's pretty bad.
You don't have as much pull as you thought you did, I guess.
No, it didn't fire him up good enough.
What did it mean to you when you got the news?
Oh, it was. Which news?
Well, we'll start with the Pitcher of the Month.
Oh, it was. I mean, obviously, I knew I was having a good month, and you never really expect to get stuff like that. But the fact that I did. I mean, if you would have told me in spring training it would have happened, I would have, probably slapped you. But yeah, it feels good, and yeah, it feels good. Huddy's sitting here throwing stuff at me, so
that's part of the ritual.
Yeah, he's usually the one who's doing this, so I feel very uncomfortable right now. But yeah. Okay. What were we talking about? See, I'm so scatterbrained.
Pitcher of the Month.
Oh, that's right. It sounds so good. I don't know. Yeah, it was a good month. I knew I was having a good month, and just to get some kind of recognition, it's super awesome. And I mean, Tom knows. I mean, he's had a bunch of them, I'm sure. So it's just super cool to finally be kind of recognized for that. And I understand that there's more to go, and I could go 0-7 in my next 7. So it's I'm just happy it happened, and ready to keep pitching.
Chris Nelson, an Atlanta kid, is the Rockies hitter, and Tommy, this is upstairs to him.
I want to know, what do you find different in your approach as a reliever and a starter? And the reason I ask that is because I've had people ask me about what you're doing and what's going on and what the difference is, and and even I said it's funny because when I watch him pitch as a reliever, he does a good job, but it's not the spectacular that you have been as a starting pitcher. What's the difference?
Well, you don't have a chance as a reliever to really establish anything. The rhythm's already set, the game's already set, hitters are in their groove, or however it is. And if you don't have a certain pitch that day, I mean, you got to rely on the other one, and if not, you're going to get crushed. So as a starter, I mean, you just have a chance to make more adjustments, not just what you throw to the hitters, but also what works for you that day, and you can adjust that way.
Well, you said too, Chris, about the chess game, where the way you work to guys the first time through the order, you like to make some adjustments after that. You don't have that opportunity as a reliever.
Yeah, exactly. And as a reliever too, everything happens way, way faster. So you could throw 2 good pitches and they can get hit and you're out of the game. So it's just a give and take kind of thing.
Now to the other bit of news that you were tweeting about today. I don't know if Braves Country knows that you all are expecting a baby.
Yeah, a boy too. I'm so excited. I predicted girl first just to prepare myself mentally, but we got the news that it was a boy, and she hasn't stopped crying, I haven't stopped smiling. So it's a really cool feeling, and I'm just really excited.
When's the baby due?
February 5th as of right now, but as you guys know, it could be earlier, it could be later. So.
Well, it's a wonderful day for you.
Yeah, it's probably the best day of my life. It's emotional, and everything just feels so good right now, and couldn't be happier for myself and her and our family.
Well, you better root for earlier, because you don't want to miss the start of spring training. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't. We got the World Baseball Classic, so I don't know if spring training starts later or earlier. I'm not sure how they adjust it.
DJ LeMahieu's going to double to right center field, and that hit comes with 1 out in the Rockies' 3rd inning. Chris, you and Tommy Hanson have such a great friendship. It's Mutt and Jeff routine with you two. I'm sure you two have talked about the struggles that Tommy has gone through these last couple of starts. What are you noticing about Tommy's performances the last 6-7 times out?
I don't know. I mean, I hate talking about other people, but we have talked about it. It's obviously just like his fastball command. I think he's might be relying on his off-speed stuff a little bit too much, and I mean, but at the same time, I mean, who am I to say anything? It's I'm going to go through ups and downs like I have my entire career. So it's yeah, it's just part of the game, and I mean, Tommy's going to figure it out, and I mean, he's doing well tonight. So.
But you know, to answer your question, who are you to say anything? That's what teammates are for, though. I mean, you know each other, you've been around each other, and I know that in some of the dynamics I had over the years, sometimes it was one of my teammates that noticed something that a pitching coach might not see, and if you guys have that give and take, that's a great thing to be able to provide.
I mean, since I've been starting, I mean, you know, obviously you really got to step up your conditioning and stuff, and you know, I just literally ran with the punches, and I mean, I've been running so much more and just trying to inspire myself at the same time. You know, like the switch flipped in my head to not waste another opportunity, and I'm trying to make the most of it. And, you know, I'm grabbing Tommy to have him come and run with me, and just trying to, you know, kind of motivate each other. And I mean, he's doing all the running with me, and you know, we're both trying to get better.
He just came back from the disabled list a couple of starts ago after nursing a sore back. Has he been able to do all the things with you that he wants to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see his back feels well, because I mean, before, you know, he said anything about it, he was 87, 88. I mean, he's, you know, his velocity's jumped up a couple miles an hour, so that's a good sign. And you know, overall, he feels great.
Well, he's looking good so far in this inning, Chris, and we're just thrilled to death for you, all the success you're having. Certainly the Braves happy with what you've done in rotation. And I know your lovely wife, Nicole's sitting at home watching this game and just beaming with pride as well.
I don't know what she's doing. I don't know.
Probably shopping for baby clothes.
Yeah, she wanted to go straight from the appointment to go buy stuff, and I'm like, we'll go tomorrow. Like, just relax. Let's let this soak in a little bit. We hadn't even called our parents yet, and she was like, let's go buy stuff. So
get used to it, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Just so you know, Joseph Thomas is a real nice name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting some suggestions. So.
Okay.
I'll bet you are. Chris, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, the National League's Pitcher of the Month, Chris Medlin, with the best hairdo on the starting staff, by the way.
Hands down.
Dexter Fowler's the hitter with a runner at second for the Rockies in a scoreless game.
But that, for those fans that don't get a chance to listen to him on interviews, or certainly don't have the opportunities like we have to talk to him, that part right in there where he goes, oh yeah, what were we talking about? I mean, that's it in a nutshell right there.
It's funny, you're right, because you know, you being around him, you know. But I again, reading some stuff this morning, I thought David Ross hit the nail on the head. He said he doesn't take himself seriously. He doesn't take. It's just he's out there doing his thing, and that's how he is. That's his mentality. And I'll tell you what, if you can maintain that, you'll save yourself a whole lot of stress in this game.
I mean, he does not seem to fit the mold of the orderly, rigid, conformist starting pitcher who wants everything regimented every fifth day.
No, he doesn't, and you know, it's clearly working for him the way he's doing it, and you just hope that over time, if he continues to stay where he is and he continues to get more and more accolades, that the pressure of all that stuff doesn't change anything, that he just continues to maintain that same approach that he has right now.
Letter high fastball missed to Fowler. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If that was to set up the breaking ball, I hope it's a backdoor breaking ball and not one down and in. This guy's pretty quick down and in.
Doubled up with the heat and missed again. Full count. Rutledge on deck. LeMahieu at second with a double. And the breaking ball does get Fowler. David Ross will throw him out at first. And Tommy Hansen's out of third inning trouble. We have no score in Atlanta. The Braves try to break through as Chris Medlin. Thumbs up indeed. As always, it's time for our McDonald's fans of the game.
Got a Rockies, little baby Rockies shirt on. And a Redskins shirt on. And a Rockies shirt on. They're very happy. Chan looked it up for us. Tom Glavine, pitcher of the month 4 times. May of '91. Seems like he won a Cy Young Award that year. That must have been a good stepping stone. July of '92. And then 2 good Aprils, '97 and '98. 2 good starts again. Chan got that in, what's it called again? Southpaw Central.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Bourne. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Michael bunted safely in the first. Took second on a ground out. Tried to steal third and was thrown out. 50 pitches for Pomeranz. 75 is the starter's limit for the Rockies. And Michael's out on strikes. 1 away in the third. And it's time for tonight's Subway Sub Prize. And the National League wild card is our sub prize. Braves lead the Cardinals by 3 games. The Cardinals the second wild card, a half game ahead of the Dodgers, and the Pirates starting to fade. They're 2.5 behind St. Louis.
I like the way that's set up. Good job on the games back.
Because we've got lots of tweets and emails from people saying, well, how can the Braves be the wild card leader and the team in second place be tied with them in the wild card? They're not. And that's, you're right, Joe, a much better way of showing it graphically. The way the Cardinals had Chris Carpenter throwing batting practice today. Might be thinking about coming back in the final month and pitching for the Cardinal team.
Well, he certainly has reason to.
Yeah, good pickup if he's able to.
Fly foul back by Reed Johnson. The Cardinals are home to the Mets tonight. The Nationals, the team Atlanta's trying to chase down in the East, is hosting the Cubs. And the Cubs giving the Braves no help tonight. It's 5-0 Washington already in the third inning. Braves just got to take care of their own business. 0-2 to Johnson.
By the way, one of the other nominees for pitcher of the month was former Brave and St. Simons native Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals, who went 5-1 with a .275.
And most times that'll be good enough.
Line past first. Reed Johnson with a 2-strike hit.
There are a lot of similarities between Reed Johnson and Martin Prado. That was a pretty good pitcher's pitch, and he spoiled it and hit it hard. Reed doesn't have Martin's pop, I don't believe, but he's a tough out and tough to strike out for that very reason right there.
Yeah, both those guys are pretty interchangeable in that number 2 spot in the lineup, because they are tough outs, they're tough strikeouts, and they have the ability to do that right there, like you said, Joe, to spoil a really good pitcher's pitch and find a way to not only get a base hit but hit it hard.
Chipper up for the second time. He has an infield hit. And Chipper starting to move rapidly up the all-time hit list in his big league career. Chipper's second inning single ties him with Dave Parker for 61st all time, 2,712. Next on the list is Bill Buckner. Chipper's 3 away from tying him.
both really good hitters.
And to put in perspective, Joe, with 9 more hits, Chipper Jones ties Lou Gehrig.
I think that's memorable.
Yeah, I know that name.
I hope he ties him before the end of this series.
Three balls and a strike. Line into center field. Chipper's 2 for 2.
I can't help but laugh because I think of this young man on the mound who pitched in college and had to dodge some balls from metal bats, aluminum bats. But when you're facing Chipper Jones and this happens to you, I mean, that wasn't really that close, but it certainly got his attention, scared him half to death. I just have to kind of laugh that he's thinking, this guy's 40.
Yeah.
I just about took my cap off.
So there's Chipper's place on the all-time list. He passes Dave Parker. Bill Buckner's next. And Freddie Freeman's in the batter's box. Freddie struck out to end the Atlanta first. Is it hard, Tommy, when you're 22, 23 years old like this kid is, to not be starstruck when you're facing a guy like Chipper Jones for the first time?
Absolutely. You know, I know that for me, my first year, every time I faced somebody for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, how did I get from high school to here? What am I doing facing this guy?
Almost like you didn't have enough weapons.
Well, yeah. Which, you know, was pretty much the case, yeah.
Well, I bet you can see a lot of similarities between your first year in the big leagues and what Pomeranz is going through, albeit without the pitch count thing.
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, look, I've said it many a times, there's not many guys that come in this league and just have it figured out from day one. And not that they ever do have it figured out, but obviously some guys come up here and have pretty good success right from the get-go, but there's not many guys that do that. We all go through growing pains up here, and I don't care how good you are, you're going to have them at some point in time.
2 balls and a strike for Freddie.
I can't help but think that pitch count is not somewhere in the back of his mind. You know, like, all right, I got to hurry up and make a pitch here, get an out, get a double play. You just seem to me you're constantly chasing that number, trying to stay in the game as long as you can.
Hammered to center, but Fowler's going to track it down. Reed Johnson will get back to the second base bag, tag, and move to third. Freeman really tattooed that ball, but it's the second out.
Had a lot of the plate too. 3-1 count, hitters count. He didn't miss it. He just hit it right at the guy.
So a couple of things in play here. Prado's hit lefties well all year. If he gets 2 strikes, he has more 2-strike hits than anybody. And as we mentioned, Rosario, a lot of pass balls. Several ways the Braves could score the game's first run in this third inning. He's had 2 on in the first, 2 on in the second, 2 more on here in the third, but have yet to break through. balls and a strike. The Rockies bullpen will go to work. Pitch number 70 coming up. Now I wonder if they've made a pitching change this year in the middle of an at-bat. If, let's say, Prado fouls off 5 more pitches.
I hope not. I think that's taking it to the real extreme. As you see Torres loosening up. There's that curveball, and so far the hitters have laid off that pitch until he proves that he can throw it for a strike.
Chipper from first. Takes off, and a line drive hit to left. And Carlos Gonzalez makes the grab to retire the side. Braves hit 2 bullets with 2 runners aboard in the 3rd inning, have nothing to show for it. And we head to the 4th with no score. Braves and Rockies in game 2 of the series. It's been a busy news day for Tom Hart, and he's got more news for us, an update on Andrelton Simmons. Tom?
Yeah, thanks, Chip. Andrelton's with the team today. It's a day off in the minor leagues because the playoffs for the Braves affiliates start tomorrow. So 1 day in Rome for Andrelton, part of the South Atlantic League playoff team there. Then he'll head to Lynchburg for 2 and likely to be with Lynchburg until their playoffs end. The goal, Freddie Gonzalez has said, is to get him back, get him enough at-bats, enough time in the field, and get his legs underneath him so they can get him back this weekend. And it's still a question mark as to when he would rejoin the team. But lucky that there's a couple of teams that are still active in the playoffs that he can get down there and get some games in, which is sometimes a rarity this week of September.
But, boy, that's a busy travel schedule for Simmons. Mississippi yesterday, Atlanta today, Rome, and then Lynchburg.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
Talking to me?
Looks like Tom's so worn out from Andrelton's travel schedule, he better have a burger.
You know, the biggest goal for a guy who goes down in the minors in this situation is to pick up the post-game spread, whether it's an Outback Steakhouse or great cheeseburgers. I mean, he could order some of these from Georgia's own credit union club, but the bottom line is he's going to be coming out of pocket for those guys.
You better take care of them.
Strike 3 to Josh Rutledge. Hansen has 5 strikeouts,
which is, I'm sure, a whole lot more out of his pocket than Tom took out of his for that.
Deep pockets, short arms, we call Tom Hart.
Well, my friend John Farrell hooked me up here in Georgia's own credit union, this new credit union club they have here. It's been such a success that they're going to build another one just like it on the other side of the press box in section 308 that will open for next season. The seats are fantastic. The view is unbelievable, and you get some food and beverage including that. So I don't really need a ticket to get in the ballpark these days. I just need some sustenance.
The funny part about all that, is that mustard and ketchup aren't even on all the tables. Those are in your back pocket that you carry around with you.
You never know where a burger's going to drop out of the sky, and you've got to be prepared, Joe.
I like it.
You know, you can send a couple our way too, Tom. 1 ball, 1 strike for Carlos Gonzalez.
Chip, you should know by now that I'm more of a burger guy. You guys are more of the high quality steak type guys, so we might have something special for you.
That's scary. I don't know what he's going to come up with now.
Beware what you wish for. Well, thanks, Tom. We'll let you know if you spill any ketchup on that lime green shirt tonight. It's a good look. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ripped into right center field and deep. And that one's not going to come back, I'm afraid. Carlos Gonzalez has broken the deadlock. His 22nd home run of the season. And the Rockies lead 1-0.
He must have known because he stood and watched it long enough.
His 99th career homer.
That wasn't too bad.
One thing about this Rockies club, you can't help but notice, we talked about it when this man, Willem Rosario, was up. Their home road splits offensively are drastically different. And no one personifies that more perhaps than Carlos Gonzalez. 311 hitter overall, 234 on the road. And of his 22 home runs, he's hit 9 now away from Coors Field.
It seemed like for a little while there, the humidor or whatever they're using out there kind of changed some of that, but doesn't seem to be the case again this year.
You're talking 140 points different. That's amazing.
Well, I will say this: as big as that outfield is out there, you got a chance to get a few more base hits out there.
And then overall, look at the Rockies team. The home road splits.
You see, here are the 2 things that I say matter for this ball club. And that is because their offense is going to be their offense, home or away. It doesn't matter where they pile it on at home or not. You can play offense anywhere. You can figure out a way to score runs on the road if that's what you have to do. You don't have to have a change your lineup or any of that kind of stuff. But the pitching has got to remain constant, home or the road, in an effort for this ball club to win. They've got to get that ERA down, both home and road.
I like the way they've put together their offensive ball club, Joe. Trying to find the right mixture of arms has been an ongoing saga for these guys too, and they're now going with a sinker ball staff if they can get it.
Yeah, pitch to the bottom of the zone. I liked your idea. Let the grass grow. And that type of pitching, if you've got guys that have that kind of good control and can sink the ball or have good command, that works on the road. It doesn't work just at Coors Field.
I agree wholeheartedly. Those are the kinds of guys that have success out there, the guys that don't rely on the breaking balls, that are more sinker ball or change up type guys. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, can't think off the top of my head, but it seems like the guys that have had success out there, Aaron Cook, guys like that, are sinker ball type pitchers. And I know there have been a couple others, but I really can't think of anybody that was a breaking ball pitcher that went out there and had success.
Well, I mentioned this last night, Tommy. They kind of went this way at one point when they signed Brett Saberhagen, who had a good sinker, but he was a curveball guy. He had a real big hook. and it didn't work. And Billy Swift, who was a sinker slider guy, but he relied on his slider a lot too, and that didn't work. And then they kind of got away from those guys and went to more power arms, and that certainly didn't work there.
Two quick strikes to Tyler Colvin. Well, just a few short years ago, the Rockies were in the World Series, you might recall, back in 2007. They had Josh Fogg, Jeff Francis, Baldo Jimenez, Franklin Morales was on that team. Aaron Cook was on that team. But they are searching for pitching and have Drew Pomeranz in front 1-0. The last 6 outs have been strikeouts by Tommy Hanson. He has 7 in the game. But Carlos Gonzalez's solo homer gives Colorado a 4th inning lead.
Delta Flyaway is back, so grab your phone and text Delta to South. That's Delta to 76884 for a chance to win round-trip airfare for 2 anywhere Delta flies in the continental U.S., plus hotel accommodations and $250 spending cash. We'll announce the winner on Monday, September 17th during our Braves telecast, so join in.
So Drew Pomeranz is out of the ball game after 3 innings and right around 75 pitches. Carlos Torres is on for the 23rd time. Pomeranz 3 shutout innings, 5 hits, a walk, a couple of strikeouts.
It's conceivable with this philosophy that you could have 5 starters who never get a win.
Line drive to left by Hayward, and Gonzalez has it.
Boy, that's 3 rockets in a row right at people.
72 pitches officially for Pomeranz. And 1 man down. Our AT&T Uverse trivia question: who holds the Rockies' single season record for wins by a lefty? I think we should let Mr. Glavin answer this one.
Why? Because you guys have been so good or so bad, or because I'm left-handed?
We're 1 for our last 1.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a couple of nominees for you. Denny Nagel.
Yeah.
There's a bullet down the left field line by David Ross. That's the 6th Atlanta hit, and that one was scorched.
With his oblique bothering him, the best thing you can do for David is throw him something inside. the best thing, so that he doesn't have to reach for anything and extend his arms and risk really pulling that muscle. So that was just exactly what he wanted to see and didn't miss it. Mike Hampton. Francis was
Jeff Francis.
Another nominee.
The tying run on for Atlanta. Paul Janisch, the hitter, with 1 out. Torres, by the way, 6'1", 190 pounds. 29 years old, out of San Diego. Played college ball at Kansas State. And last year pitched in Japan with the Yomiuri Giants, formerly with the White Sox.
A lot of cutters off his fastball, which if he's throwing a four-seamer is 92 to 94. But a ton of cutters and a curveball to go with it. Curve.
Nelson at third, gloves, and fires across in time for the second out. Yeah, you mentioned Tony La Russa and the Oakland A's doing this pitching experiment. I think he did it a little bit differently in that starters would not always start. The relievers would sometimes start the game, and a starter could come in and pick up a win in relief, if that makes sense. Flip-flopping the roles. I believe that's what they did from time to time. But you're right, the way it is now, all the wins could go to their middle relief guys. Hanson is behind a strike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't begin to know all the issues that they're working through and dealing with, but man, it's not much incentive going out there to pitch knowing you got 75 pitches and you don't have much of a chance to have an opportunity to win any games, and there's an awful lot of development that goes on as a pitcher past that 75 pitch mark.
And if you look at Pomerantz's numbers over his most recent starts, 6 hits, 6 runs his last time out. But the start before, 5 innings, only 2 runs allowed. The one before that, 4 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned. So he's 1-8. He's lost 5 straight decisions, but that's a little deceiving given the way they're working right now.
He doesn't have a chance to win many of them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's going out there. I mean, conservatively, 75% of the time, the only thing he's got an opportunity to do is lose the game. So I mean, you're right there. You're going out there with the mindset, well, let's try not to lose.
Yeah.
0-2 to Tommy. The other side of it is, how often are you going to win when you average 24, 25 pitches per inning, which is what Pomeranz did tonight? So the side part of that is you want to win the game, try to get outs early in the count.
There again, though, the devil's advocate there is how much are you putting pressure on yourself to hurry up and get a guy out because you know about the pitch count. What does that do for your development in terms of expanding a strike zone?
It wasn't expanded for Hanson. That one caught the outside corner, and Torres is out of the Atlanta fourth. The Rockies lead 1-0 your score. On a Carlos Gonzalez home run an inning ago. All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day.
And fans, the Braves are in the hunt for a trip to the postseason this October. Braves postseason tickets go on sale Wednesday, September the 12th. Make plans now to get your tickets. When they go on sale, visit Braves.com/postseason today.
It's always an exciting time when playoff tickets go on sale in your town. That means you can see the finish line ahead. The Braves right now lead the wild card race. They're 6.5 behind Washington. Still have 3 games head to head with the Nationals coming up. And that'll be on our next homestand here at Turner Field.
Hey, look what Tom Hart brought us from the Georgia Zone Credit Union. Some flank steak, potatoes, salad. Already put a dent in that.
Very good.
Outstanding. What a nice guy Tom is.
He really is.
Working with a couple of piranhas up here. Jordan Pacheco couldn't check his swing and took a strike. Tommy, we talked about this kid last night. He's a catcher by trade, but can play the outfield, can play third base, he can play first base. In fact, he's playing there because Todd Hilton's undergone season-ending surgery. What a valuable weapon that is for a manager to have a third catcher potentially on your roster.
Well, yeah, I mean, sounds an awful lot like Martin Prado minus the catching aspect of it. And I'm sure if you asked Martin to put the catcher's gear on and go catch, he'd probably do it for you.
And Pacheco launches one deep left. Reed Johnson going back, and as far as he can go, and that one's gone. We told you at the start of the broadcast, Pacheco's a dangerous hitter. He just extended his hitting streak to 13 games, and it's 2-0 Colorado.
I believe Gonzalez hit a breaking ball. This was too. Or it's supposed to be.
That was hanger. Didn't quite have the finish on it that Tommy wanted, and that's usually where the hanging breaking balls go.
Yeah, that hurts. An 0-2 pitch.
He had only given up 1 home run in his last 5 starts before the Gonzalez homer. 2 tonight.
Tommy's 9 for 16 in first pitch strikes tonight, as he falls behind Chris Nelson. Ball 1. That's foul past third. Now 1-2. Caught at first by Freddie Freeman. Nelson took a shot to right and was robbed. 1 out.
I think he likes the ball away from him. His double that he hit yesterday, the deep right center, was on a ball out away from him that he took the other way, and he certainly was all over that pitch.
DJ LeMahieu's up. He doubled in the Rockies' third tonight.
On our Home Depot tools from the dugout tonight, we talk about defense. Nice play by Freddie Freeman there. The Braves have made the fewest errors in the National League, while the Rockies, after 2 last night in the first inning, have made the most by a good margin.
Giannis only has 2 errors. Makes a perfect throw for the second out.
We were talking about Pacheco a minute ago, and I'm sure his teammates call him the fight doctor, but I was just thinking about what a luxury it was when B.J. Surhoff was on the Braves club, because he'd kind of gotten away from catching, playing mostly first or the outfield, but you always knew he could go back there if you needed him to.
Yeah, that's a big luxury when you got that third guy that can catch.
And the reason is, if you only carry 2 catchers, you're reluctant to pinch hit for your catcher. Because if the substitute goes in and gets hurt, then you're really left holding an empty bag. As Torres shoots one to right, Hayward had him played perfectly, battles the lights and the scoreboards, and makes the catch to retire the side. The Rockies have 2 solo homers. Both have come on 2 strikes, and they extend their lead to 2-0. See how it's taken place, our Blimpie game summary.
Hey, Tommy Hansen's racked up 7 strikeouts, including striking out the side in the 4th, but he gave up a home run to Carlos Gonzalez. And he just gave up a home run in the 5th there to Jordan Pacheco. Here's the Gonzalez homer. No doubter on a breaking ball halfway up the seats. And Pacheco just moments ago on a hanger pulled one to the left. Pacheco, his 4th. 2-0.
So the lefty's out of the game. Now the Braves face a right-handed reliever for Colorado, and the top of the order's up. And Michael Bourne quickly down the strike. Michael, a bunt single to start the game. He also took strike 3 in the 3rd. Say this about Pomeranz. He's the first Rocky starter we have seen that the Braves have not pummeled.
Right. And had a chance to. Had some infield hits. Had the double by Ross. They left 5 men on base against him.
Braves had scored 28 runs in 17 and a third innings against the Rockies starting staff in the first 4 games. Nothing against Pomeranz tonight.
Big hook there.
If you can't get enough college football, look to Bates and Bowden on Thursdays. James Bates and Tommy Bowden form a player-coach duo, bringing you their take on football in the SEC, ACC, Conference USA, and more. Don't miss the new college football show Thursday at 7 on Fox Sports South. Fastball, 93 miles an hour on the outside edge, 0-2. Nelson at third. Plays it on a short hop. Makes a bad throw, but the tag applied to Johnson as he tried to duck under at first base. Heck of a play by Pacheco to come off the bag and save the error.
Definitely bounced. Nice try by Nelson to try to sell it, but this play always scares me for the base runner when he's going in hard at the bag and trying to avoid the tag, and try not to jam your hand into the base. Not only that, he got tagged right in the head.
I'm not really sure why Nelson was trying to sell that one so much. It really wasn't close. He almost sold it right into an error.
Chipper's 2 for 2.
We showed you that graphic with the number of errors that they've committed, 104. Nelson's made 9 of them, but the 2 guys with the most are Pacheco at first base with 12, and tied for that is Rosario, the catcher, has made 12.
And 15 pass balls too. Yikes. Two balls and a strike. Rosario looks like he got a manicure. He's got his fingernails painted yellow to help the pitcher see the signs.
If you can make that pitch every day, you're going to be in the big leagues for a long time.
A long, long time. That's a solid pitch right there.
Started off the plate, just catch enough of it for the call.
High toward left. Gonzalez going back on the warning track. He's got it. And that'll retire the side. 2 scoreless innings for Torres and the Rockies, who enjoy a 2-0 lead after 5. By the Home Depot and by AT&T. Top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Colorado. Tommy Hanson will face the top of the Rockies order. That means Dexter Fowler, Josh Rutledge, and Carlos Gonzalez. Tommy has pitched a good ball game tonight. He's given up only 3 hits, but 2 of them are homers. Braves have left 6 men on base. They have 6 hits. And now you have to deal with the speedster Dexter Fowler. Mentioned earlier that Dexter's an Atlanta kid. Pride of Milton High School, had a college baseball scholarship offer to play at Miami. Had a college basketball scholarship offer to go to Harvard. But his dream was to play baseball, and he's chosen very wisely. A huge breakout year for the Colorado center fielder this year.
I didn't realize our lives had such parallel paths, he and I. I wanted to go to Harvard and I didn't get in. Turned out pretty good. He chose not to go, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. Foul past first, and Glenn Allen Hill, the first base coach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Joe mentioned there are a ton of Rockies that hail from the Southeast. A couple of Atlanta players, Nelson, Fowler in the lineup. Rutledge played at Alabama. Colvin played at Clemson. Mayhew, I think, is an LSU kid.
Pomerantz from Colliersville, Tennessee, and Ole Miss.
That caught the corner. Fowler is struck out. Tommy Hansen's had the strikeout ball working tonight. That's 8 in the game. Medlin struck out 12 Rockies yesterday.
9 is his season high.
And 2 more games to follow with the Rockies. Here's our Jameson and upcoming schedule.
Alex White was the other part of that deal, coming from Cleveland with Pomerantz for Ubaldo Jimenez. So we'll see him tomorrow against Mike Minor, Hudson, and Chassin in that early start Thursday. 12:10 first pitch. You going to be here for that one, Mr. Blevin?
I'll be here.
Do I need to send you a wake-up call or anything?
No, please. I have kids at home, remember?
Yeah.
0-2 the count to Josh Rutledge. I'm guessing this guy's playing his way into an everyday job for the Rockies, even when Troy Tulowitzki comes back.
They're going to find a place for him somewhere, I would think.
Not that their offense needs help, but Tulowitzki will certainly do that. But where he'll really help them is defensively. Tulowitzki has a couple of more days left on his minor league rehab stint. They're gradually ramping up his defensive workload. He'll play 7 innings on Thursday, and then the Rockies will evaluate and see if he's ready to come back.
I thought I read something too this morning on him that he was supposed to play the field today, I think, but with the surgery he had, his groin was a little bit sore, so he was going to DH but not play the field today. But that was the plan, that he was going to have 2 days in the field before they brought him back up here.
And if that holds true, then Tulowitzki potentially could join the Rockies in Philadelphia starting Friday night. Squibbed up the middle. Giannis charges and throws to first in time. And gets Rutledge, who's 0 for 3.
Yeah, and that's again, we mentioned this yesterday. If you weren't with us, that Rutledge can really run on a scouting scale of 8. He's a 7 runner, but he's got a little bit of a quad issue right now.
Fans, the Braves are excited to bring OAR to Turner Field for a free post-game concert following the Saturday, September 15th game against the Nationals. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000 for tickets today.
Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez acquired by the Rockies for Matt Holliday after the 2008 season. He is some kind of hitter. This one's in the left field corner. Gonzalez has a 2-out double.
I'd say that's one of those trades that's worked out well for both clubs.
Coming into the season, Gonzalez had played 361 games with the Rockies, 75 doubles, 73 homers, 62 steals, and 238 RBIs.
And that's missing some time, boy. I mean, he's had some injuries that have put him on the DL.
He hit 26 homers, drove in 92 in only 127 games last year.
That's pretty impressive.
He's at second for Willen Rosario. The catcher is fly to right and has struck out.
Speaking of Matt Holliday, his brother Josh was recently named the head coach of baseball at Oklahoma State.
One ball, one strike as we approach the 9 o'clock hour at Turner Field. Two and one. Action has begun in the Braves bullpen as Hansen readies for a 2-1 pitch. And another bouncer up the middle. Nice play at second. Ball dropped by Prado, but he keeps it on the infield, and that keeps Gonzalez at third base. Infield hit.
That goes to that old baseball fundamental with 2 out, runner at second base, knock the ball down. Keep it on the infield if you can. Keep that run from scoring. Martin had thoughts of maybe doing a little more than that, but at least he got a glove on it and kept Gonzalez from scoring.
So Roger McDowell pops out of the dugout. He'll talk strategy with Tommy Hansen. He's got Tyler Colvin up there. Colvin's walked and has struck out. I know we keep talking, as you see Hansen's line of work about the Rockies being a losing team, but Joe, you've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. It's not the record, but how they're playing right now, and the Rockies have been playing pretty good baseball,
especially offensively. They've really been swinging the bats. As we talked yesterday, they had a bunch of guys coming into town with hitting streaks, but Fowler, Rutledge, and Colvin all had their hitting streaks snapped yesterday.
Rockies have won 14 of their last 21 games and lead tonight. Ball one to Tyler Colvin.
This is a big spot right here. 2 outs, left-handed hitter up there. He needs to get out of this inning down only 2 runs.
Peter Moylan getting ready in the Braves bullpen. Tommy, is this another one of your there's a base open, it's not first situations for Hansen?
Yeah, you're hoping the manager's going to give you the opportunity, though, if you do end up with the bases loaded.
Five pitches for Hansen, 8 strikeouts. Now a 3-1 count. Ball 4, they're loaded. Decision time for Freddie Gonzalez. And the decision's been made. Tommy goes 5 2/3. 2 runs so far, 2 home runs, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Peter Moylan is on with the bases loaded and 2 outs. By Georgia Power, by Ram Trucks, and by Blimpie. Tommy Hanson pitched a good ball game tonight. Gave up 2 home runs, but leaves this 6th inning with the bases full of Rockies. A double, an infield hit, and a walk. Chases him from the game, and an AT&T call to the bullpen goes out to Peter Moylan.
Peter's already pulled in a win since he's come up, and he's retired every batter he's faced, all 4 of them. And I want to say all 4 on ground outs. Got to double check that. I know it was 3 ground outs in his first appearance. And yeah, grounder to third a couple of days ago against the Phillies.
So let's see if he can get Jordan Pacheco. Pacheco homered on an 0-2 pitch his last time up. The most dangerous Rocky hitter right now with a 13-game hitting streak and no place to put him. And on the first pitch, he pops it straight up. David Ross right in front of the plate makes the catch. They were going to call interference on Pacheco anyway, but no trouble. David Ross takes care of business. Peter Moylan throws 1 pitch and sends this game to the bottom of the 6th inning. Our sixth inning. And before Freddie Freeman leads off, we'll remind you that SEC Gridiron Live is back, and Tim Couch is holding it down with a new cast, including Desmond Purnell, James Bates, and our own Elizabeth Moreau. Get to know the new crew as they bring you the best of the SEC's opening week, plus a look ahead to Game 2. Don't miss SEC Gridiron Live tomorrow at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports South. Torres back out there for the Rockies. This will be his third inning of relief. He's the piggyback man for Drew Pomeranz. Again, the rules for the Rockies: starter goes 75. First man out of the bullpen can go no more than 50 pitches. Then you match up the rest of the way. Torres has thrown 25 pitches in his first 2 frames of relief.
So is he always the piggyback man for, or is it depending on how many pitches, therefore how many days off?
That part I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's one guy always matches up with you or it moves around. They've got 10 guys in their bullpen, though. I can tell you that much. So a lot of choices for Jim Tracy.
I think they should locker next to each other. They should eat together.
Downstairs to Freeman, 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, Tommy, you want to play catch? No, I can only play catch with Chip. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So do you then go into your contract negotiations in the winter and say, hey, we were 15-5 last year?
Ground ball right side. Pacheco at first handles that, 1 out. Don't know the answer to that, but I'll bet you, Tommy, you know the answer to the AT&T Universe trivia question. Name the Colorado Rockies left-handed pitcher who holds their single season wins mark.
Oh boy, I can't think of too many, but I'm going with Jeff Francis.
Sean Estes pitched there after the Giants.
He might. I think he did, but I don't know for sure.
I like Francis too, but I'm going to go with Sean Estes.
Francis is way too obvious.
So could
I'm thinking
Hampton and Nagel could be too.
Yeah, that's true. No balls and a strike to Prado.
Boy, oh boy, if I didn't know we got this extra time, maybe I would
I'm
have
trying to
thought
help you guys. I'm trying to help. I'm filibustering.
Is Morales left-handed?
Franklin Morales.
I'm going to go with him. I'm changing to Morales. Good stall tactic.
Okay, I'll stick with Francis just so we don't get any protests from the truck. So let's see.
There you go, boys. Number 2 on the list, Jorge De La Rosa. We didn't come up with him, did we?
No.
Francis was 17. De La Rosa was 16.
That ball knocked down at second by LeMahieu, but he couldn't hold it. Infield hit.
Off the side of the mound, that almost kicked right back to Mayhew. Well, it did kick back to him. He just couldn't make the play, so a 1-out start. Hey, my guy Sean Estes that I had on there, he was 3rd on the list.
My guy was first.
He sure was.
That was a good year too. 17-9.
Gabe White. Wow. 10th on the list. 11-2 1 year.
Is that from southpaw.com or whatever that website was? Swing and a miss by Hayward, who could tie this game, by the way, with one mighty swing. 0-2. Good eye, evens the count.
Another effort at that backdoor slider. Couldn't get that one close enough.
Well, you pitch him on the outer half of the plate at your own peril, don't you?
Yes.
Line into right field. That'll get down for a hit. Toronto around second. On his way to third. The ball not cut off. No advance by Hayward. Braves runners at the corners with one out.
Thought they had him set up after the backdoor attempt. They tried to come in with a cutter. Left it right over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, didn't get it in. They're lucky he didn't put that one in the seats.
Good base running by Martin. Braves in business, first and third. They are 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position.
David's had a perfect night so far at the plate. Picked up the first hit against Torres back in the fourth inning. It was a double down the third base line. Rex Brothers up in the Rockies pen. .40 pitches for Torres.
All breaking balls so far, and again when they throw the ball away from, well, that was fastball, beg your pardon. When they throw the fastball away from, or any of the pitches away from David, it's hard on him to get out there and get it. Middle of the plate in doesn't seem to hurt quite as much.
Down toward the bottom of the lineup card, you've got Paul Janisch next, then Peter Moylan in the 9th spot scheduled to hit. But first, a 1-2 count for David Ross. Hayward's running. And Ross pops it out of play.
I like that idea, though. If Jason got a good jump and as many breaking balls as they're throwing, David, try to stay out of the double play so that a ground ball would get you a run. Let's see if Rosario changes his signs here. Maybe a change up. A move.
Which will be illegal next year.
But if he thought Jason was running the pitch before, he might want a fastball to have a chance to get a strike him out, throw him out. And indeed, that's what he asked for.
Jason doesn't go, and the pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cat and mouse game here in the Braves 6th, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, down 2-0. Good at bat for Ross. Full count.
Tough pitch to lay off there too. Obviously not a strike, but when you have 2 strikes on you and you got to guard the plate, that was a tough one to lay off. And it looked like he wanted another slider.
Fans really like that play when
Yeah.
continue to do that.
3-2 pitch. Hayward runs. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Now a rundown. Runner coming home. Prado. Throw to the plate. Is in time. What a tag by Rosario.
Boy, for a team that doesn't play good defense, you could not execute that any better than they just did.
Hayward tried to stay in the rundown to get Prado home. And a perfect tag on the left arm before Prado touched the plate. And that ends the Atlanta 6th inning. 2-0 Colorado, your lead. Chances to score, they just haven't been able to break through despite picking up 8 hits tonight.
8 hits, and they've left 8 men on base. But as Tommy just said, excellent defense there on the part of the Rockies with the strikeout and then the rundown. You always want the ball in the hands of that middle infielder so that he can run the runner back to first and then keep an eye on the runner at third And be in a position to make a throw as soon as he breaks. Just a great job.
So Peter Moylan stays in the ball game. He's got Chris Nelson, DJ LeMahieu, and then the pitcher's spot coming up in the 7th inning. Line drive again to right. Hayward tracks it down. Again, Joe, that ball away from him. And he hit it hard for the first out.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to show for this series so far. He did have the double yesterday with a couple of strikeouts, but tonight a strikeout and 2 lineouts. You know, and also going back to last inning, Jason did the right thing too, the base running on the base running side, because he was just going to run into an out if he doesn't stop. That was the best he could do, was to get in the rundown.
So here's LeMahieu, the Colorado second baseman. He's doubled in 2 trips. Two and two. LeMahieu won a College World Series championship with LSU back in 2009. He was a 2nd round pick by the Cubs. He bounces off Freddie Freeman's arm, and on the ricochet, Prado can't handle cleanly. And DJ LeMahieu's aboard with 1 out in the 7th.
Base hit, I would guess. Kind of a bad hop base hit.
It's ruled an error on Freddie Freeman. And Torres will bat for himself.
Official scorer and I have been at polar opposites, haven't we? Freddie going to his backhand on this because it was to his right. That ball seemed to come up on him.
Yeah, it's tough in between hop.
Inside Torres, 1 ball, no strikes. He's up around 50 pitches.
Is that the limit on the second guy?
That's my belief. Yeah, it was 75 for the first guy, around 50 for the second guy.
Can he borrow from the first guy if he didn't use him up?
There's no rollover pitches.
No, no rollover.
No.
Okay.
And I'll get confirmation from Jim Tracy tomorrow, but I'm thinking no.
Well, so many. I mean, probably not now. I'm sure a lot of times with so many pitchers on their roster, they probably can't afford to burn a pinch hitter.
Well, they've got, by my count, Charlie Blackmon, Andrew Brown, Jonathan Herrera, Jason Giambi, and Ramon Hernandez available as position players on their bench.
Right, for this, yeah, for this time of year in
Correct.
September.
Right.
Now, before now, I would imagine they probably had to run into that a little bit.
Yeah, if you're going to carry a 10-man bullpen during the regular season, 4 starters and then 8 other position players, that's no margin for moves.
No. Better make your moves wisely.
So I got a lot of stuff to ask Jim. Okay, carryover pitches. What was the other thing you guys wanted me to ask?
Is it always the same guys? Piggyback.
Yeah, piggyback, same guys. Okay. That one all the way to the backstop. And Torres was hobbling around at the plate.
Fans right behind the home plate. I think we're calling for a foul ball.
Yeah, I didn't know if it hit something. It sounded like it hit something. I thought initially it might have hit him. I think it hit David's glove.
Yeah.
My guess is wild pitch. Yeah, it hit David's glove, not the bat. And it is a wild pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Long look in by Moylan, wondering where that ball was. And nowhere near. First and second, 1 out. Now Dexter Fowler hits. All right, Freddie Gonzalez will go get Peter Moylan.
Bench, Freddie Gonzalez has told him that's where he'll likely be through the month of September. It's still a decision that Dan Uggla is having a hard time processing.
Obviously, I had a kind of a rough game against Cliff Lee, but still squeaked out a knock. My on-base percentage is good. I think I'm in the league leaders in walks, and still got 17 and 60 something. So it's other than the average, and I guess the strikeouts not all as bad as I guess everybody thinks it is. So do I agree with it? No. It is what it is, and this is where we're at now. So I'm gonna be the best teammate I can from the bench.
Dan Uggla's hitting 182 in the second half, but he did admit to me that he was blindsided by the move. He said, "I'm not the general manager. I'm not the manager. I'm just an employee at this point."
Thank you, Tom. Here's Dexter Fowler with 2 on, 1 out. Luis Avilan is on to pitch to him. Fowler turns around and bats right-handed as Avilan answers the AT&T call to the bullpen. Any player worth his salt, you want them upset when they're not playing.
Absolutely. You want guys to be in there. You guys want guys to be upset when they're not.
Well, and Freddie keeps talking about how difficult this decision has been, and it's understandable. He and Dan go way back to their days together in Florida.
But it's not like this is a knee-jerk one-week reaction. This is an extended body of work for Dan Uggla and for Freddie Gonzalez to consider when he took him out of the everyday lineup. And as we've said a couple of times, whether it was the pitching staff, which Freddie said when Atlanta briefly had the 6-man rotation at the end of August, barring injury, the best 5 guys are going to start. And I would assume that in Freddie's case, the best 8 guys swinging the bats are the guys who are going to play in September.
You got to go with your hot hands.
One and 2 to Fowler.
I mean, in Dan's defense, he has been hitting some home runs. He's hit a couple recently, more than a couple perhaps, but it's the anticipation of, okay, can you mix a single or 2 in for me too? And all he can do right now is, and I know he will, is prepare for his next opportunity and try to make the most of that.
Because one of the things he talked about with me this afternoon was that he still feels, even though he's slumping and he knows his numbers are bad, he still feels he's an impact player in the lineup. But what he means by that is that other pitching staffs prepare for him. They know he's a threat when he comes to the plate, even if his numbers aren't necessarily threatening right now. And that's just one area where he feels he brings value to this Braves batting lineup.
I think he's right there too, Tom. I mean, every time he walks up there, he's a threat to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But in the past, you live with that when he's hitting 260 or 250 even, but not over the last 2.5 months of 180.
Did Fowler go? He did not. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I think he got it stopped somehow, some way.
Runners go. Hot shot almost hit the base runner. LeMahieu between second and third base. And Dexter Fowler drives home the 3rd Rockies run. A clean single to make it 3-0.
Nice job, kid. Keep going.
Boy, that is where some of that newfound strength comes in for Dexter Fowler, fighting that ball off and getting it through the infield. Talked about Rutledge and his speed. LeMahieu runs pretty well too.
So an error, a walk to the pitcher, and now a Fowler single makes it 3-0 with 1 out. And here is Rutledge. Just brought back from Gwinnett. He's down in the bullpen along with Julio Teheran. Randall Delgado's down there too.
Somehow, some way, needs ball on the ground. And then The infield's going to have to hustle to do that to get Rutledge.
One ball, 2 strikes. 158 at bats this season for Rutledge coming into tonight's play. He's hitting to 3 double plays. Torres at third, Fowler at first. LeMahieu's already scored. 3-0 Rockies.
Has really slowed down.
Yes, it has.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Rockies have not made it easy on the Braves staff tonight. Atlanta's had just 1 perfect pitched inning. That was the first by Tommy Hanson. Base runner in every inning since. Swing and a miss. That gets away from Ross. Torres coming to the plate, and he'll score standing up on the strikeout. Fowler will move to second on the wild pitch. It's 4-0. First base was occupied, so Rutledge will be out number 2.
It's just a bad break there. David did everything you're supposed to do. It just, instead of hitting him in the chest, it hit him on kind of the heel of the, not the heel of the glove, but that outside of the catcher's mitt, and carried him off to towards the Braves dugout.
A walk, an error, and 2 wild pitches for the Rockies, with the Fowler single mixed in.
Yeah, that was the walk to the pitcher that came around to score.
So here's Cargo, runner at second, 2 outs. And a little low, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes. Both runs charged to Peter Moylan in this 7th inning. And now 1-2.
'93 fastball getting in on him pretty quick. Jammed him. But he doesn't hit 300 every year because he's trying to be a dead pull hitter. He'll use the whole ballpark, as we saw his last time up.
Swing and a miss. Ends the 7th inning. Colorado adds a pair of runs, and we stretch down 4-0.
top. They got the lead in the 4th inning. A 1-out, 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Carlos Gonzalez, launched into deep right center, well up into the seats. His 22nd of the year. And then in the 5th inning on a 0-2 pitch, a hanging breaking ball, and Jordy Pacheco, not Ferdy, hit a home run, his 4th of the year. And just moments ago, with the runners moving, a base hit by Dexter Fowler plated a run, and he added another one just for good measure on a ball in the dirt that skipped away from David Ross. And Torres, the pitcher, scored on the wild pitch. 4-0 Rockies.
And the Braves will go to their bench with Jose Costanza ready to go to work. Jim Tracy out to talk things over with second base umpire Gary Darling here.
You can't change unless there's been a pinch hitter announced, and there was one with Jose Costanza, so I'm not sure what. Now they will make a change.
And right around 50 pitches, Torres out of the ball game, and it looks like Rex Brothers will come in to face Jose Costanza. By the Georgia Lottery and by McDonald's. Get on out of the All-Stars between the white lines.
Right again.
Bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 4-0 Rockies lead, and catch Chipper and the Braves here at Turner Field as they close out the regular season and look to secure a trip to the playoffs. The Marlins will be in town. Good seats available September 25th, 26th, and 27th. Just visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. Well, another Chapel Hill, Tennessee native is on to pitch. Rex Brothers is out there.
Same hometown as Mike Minor. And this guy can bring it, and he's tough on lefties, so the Braves make another change at the plate. But this guy throws 95 to 98 with a slider.
Jeff Baker has the unenviable task of pinch hitting for a batting champion. Jose Costanza was the man originally put up there for Freddie Gonzalez. He was named the International League batting champion today. Finished the year with a .314 average. So congratulations to Jose for that. Braves didn't want the lefty-lefty matchup. They've got Baker up there, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
Beat Mauro Gomez by 3 points for the title. Whoa, what was that pitch? Baker get another hack thanks to that miss. A little low, I guess.
That one caught the outside corner. Baker got a one-pitch reprieve, but is struck out, one away.
Nothing new for this guy. 53 innings, 71 strikeouts, now 72.
Heard our conversation an inning ago for Dan Uggla, and he'll come on and pinch hit. And guys, this is the other part of the Dan Uggla equation. This is something he's never done before. He's been an everyday player since the time he stepped into a big league clubhouse.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but based on the conversations I've heard over the years, this is not an easy thing to do.
It is not an easy thing to do, but he is a professional, and he'll work to get back in the lineup through these types of opportunities. Not an easy one.
And is it hard, Joe, to fight the temptation to fix everything that's gone wrong in one at bat every 5 days or two at bats in a week?
I think it's harder for Dan to probably put everything out of his head that's been going on the last 2 days and concentrate on an at bat. That's what I think is most difficult right now. You know, and not try to get back all the respect in one at bat with one swing and say, hey, look at me now. He's got to fight doing that. Only his 7th career pinch hit appearance. He's 1 for 6.
And a roller hit toward Nelson at third. Chris has it. Throws to first in time. 2 outs. And back we go to the top of the order, and Michael Bourne, a lefty-lefty matchup. Michael has a bunt hit, and he's been caught looking twice. It's gotten late in Atlanta. We're in the 7th inning. Bases empty, 2 outs. Colorado enjoys a 4-0 lead. Brothers went to Lipscomb College.
He's got more wins than any of their starters. He's got 8 out of the bullpen. Kind of built out of that Billy Wagner mode. A little taller than Billy, but 6 feet 210, really solid.
He was a supplemental draft pick in 2009, the highest drafted player from Lipscomb College since his pitching coach, Bo McLaughlin, was taken in the first round in 1975. I mentioned last night, McLaughlin pitched for the Braves back in the late 70s. Michael way ahead in the count. 3 balls, no strikes.
He has not given up a hit to a left-handed batter since August 2nd. So Michael happy to take a walk.
And now a right-hand batter, Reed Johnson. Cubs are trying to come back in Washington. The Nationals lead there 9-4 in the 7th. Reed tonight's 1 for 3. Late at 97, which is understandable. 0-2.
Yeah, he's bringing it.
I didn't look up at the radar gun until after I saw the swing because I thought the same thing. I was like, boy, that was kind of. Oh yeah, 97. All right, makes sense.
That got the catcher's mask on the way by. Some details from that Cubs-Washington game tonight. The Nationals have hit 5 home runs in the game. That's Adam LaRoche going deep into the Cubs bullpen.
He's gotten hot again.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a lull when we last saw them, but he's picked it up.
And Washington could lose every game the rest of the way, and they would still finish above 500, which is something that hasn't happened there in 30 some odd years. They're 30 over, and at the moment lead the Braves by 6 1/2 games. Brothers takes care of Reed Johnson. His second strikeout of the 7th inning. 4-0 Rockies. We head to the 8th inning. Starting pitchers. Game 3 of the series comes your way from Turner Field tomorrow night.
Mike Minor, who's pitched some pretty good baseball in recent starts, gets a nod tomorrow against Alex White, who also, like Pomeranz, has had a little trouble getting on track in his first year in the big leagues, going 2-7, but another key part of that Ubaldo Jimenez trade.
So defensive changes for the Braves in the 8th inning. Dan Uggla remains in the game. He'll play second base. That means Martin Prado will shift from second to shortstop. Folianish out of the ball game. And it's Chad Durbin answering the AT&T call to the bullpen. Durbin will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Colorado.
Chad's had about 3 days rest. Last worked against Philadelphia on the 31st. 66 games. I believe that's tops on the club.
Rosario, an infield hit in the 6th. Had a home run cut. Strike 1.
It is. This is his 67th game. That's the most on the team. Next highest is Benners with 56.
Fly out of play. Strike 2. outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rosario, just a kid, 23 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. He rolls toward third. Chipper scoops that up and throws to first in 1 fluid motion. 1 down.
Fans, now it's easier than ever to support environmentally friendly energy generation with Georgia Power's EarthSense Green Energy Program. Join a growing community to help bring more renewable power to Georgia.
Here's Colvin.
Just flat out brilliant.
Thank you. If we put a generator on Tom Hart's jaws, the way he went through that cheeseburger, think of the energy we could produce.
Energy renewal, yes.
Oh. 1 ball, no strikes to Colvin. Couple of walks and a strikeout for the Rockies right fielder. That's a pretty good hitter. I'm surprised the Cubs gave up on him so quickly. They traded Colvin and LeMahieu to the Rockies for Ian Stewart and a pitcher. And Ian Stewart got hurt, had hand and wrist problems all year long. Hardly played at all for the Cubs this season. There's a strike, 3-1. Casey Weathers was the man traded to the Cubs in that deal as well. He's a former #1 pick. And Durbin fills up the count.
It was an ideal trade for Colvin because I don't know if they just lost faith in him somehow. Did he play for Pinella? Or was he after Lou?
He might have been at the tail end for Lou. Let me check.
Because there was a time where he got off to a pretty good start and looked like a terrific looking hitter.
As that one kisses the chalk into the right field corner. And Colvin's got a 1-out double. Yep, he would have been there for Lou.
And my memory is that Lou kind of wasn't high on him. They didn't play him that much. And I had like a lot of people, I had a hard time figuring out why he wasn't playing more.
On the replay, do we see any chalk come up?
It looked fair live. I'm not sure that we were able to tell exactly where it landed on the replays, but live it looked fair to me.
Remember, that's a rookie umpire, Jordan Baker, out there. He had the call at first base overturned earlier tonight. Doesn't hurt to ask. And Freddie apparently satisfied with the answer as Colvin doubles with 1 out. Here's Jordan Pacheco.
Well, his perspective should have been good. He's the tallest umpire at 6'7". He's even taller than Tim McClellan.
Line drive right field. That's going to get down in front of Hayward. Colvin's going to score. And Pacheco continues his hot hitting for the Rockies and extends the lead to 5-0.
We talked about this team offensively yesterday, coming to town with great numbers in recent days and averaging right around 5 runs a game in the month of August. And proof there again that they're #1 in the major leagues in hitting with runners in scoring position. And what a great asset that is.
Chipper had to hurry his throw, got his man at second base. Pacheco's forced out. But that again, Joe, goes back to your point that you made so well earlier tonight. When you analyze the Rockies team and the big differences between their home numbers and their road numbers, their offense is going to carry through. Whether they play in Coors Field, well, they'll be inflated. But if you can hit, you can hit. got to be able to pitch. And tonight you're seeing what they do when they pitch and hit. They win.
You don't play the game any differently offensively as a player. I mean, Jim Tracy may manage a little differently on the road, but the hitters are still in the same situations with the same responsibilities to move runners, get guys in, get them over. So none of that changes from what you're supposed to do home or road.
I think sometimes the biggest difference is the psychological aspect. In a 5 or 6 run game in Colorado, you never feel comfortable. In a 5 or 6 run game on the road, you might feel a little bit more comfortable. But you're right, that doesn't change how you approach things or how you play the game.
And that's why I'll stand by what I said, that it's not that they've got to figure out something to change offensively with the type of players they have on position players and types of hitters. It's just that approach to pitching.
They've played a complete game tonight, that's for sure.
That's why for me that whole pitching thing, I struggle with it, particularly on the road, because I mean you to me you're slowing so much of the development of these kids by having such a strict limit.
LeMahieu hits a ball the other way with the 3-1 count. The throw came through to third, ill-advised. Durbin backs up, throws off balance to the plate. Scoop tag try by Ross eludes him. And LeMahieu all the way around to third base. And the Braves are throwing the ball all over the place tonight. A sloppy game at 6-0.
The worst fielding team is playing like the best fielding team, but on this play, a little bit of Keystone Cops here. Better just to hang on to that one if you're Chad. Tough throw to make.
Yeah, Jason was probably a little overzealous, thinking he was going to throw that guy out at third, and then certainly, Durbin should have just held on to that one.
A single and an E9 on Hayward. No other errors assigned, I don't believe.
Could have been.
Yep. Yeah. Durbin, right?
That allowed LeMahieu to get to third. I'm not sure if Jason overthrew the cutoff man too. That might have been another part of that play that could have been better.
So at 10 o'clock in Atlanta, disappointing score to report. Rockies 6, Braves nothing. Single runs in the 4th and 5th, 2 in the 7th, 2 so far in the 8th. And Jack Wilkinson, the official scorer, gets it right, and an E1 for Chad Durbin. 3 Atlanta errors tonight, 3 strikes to Rex Brothers, and that sends the game to the bottom of the 8th inning.
bottom of the ninth inning against the Philadelphia Phillies. And we got some video, thanks to Braves video, of Chipper's walk back up the tunnel to the clubhouse and how he was greeted. Rob Smith, video coordinator. The Prez.
What a feeling that must be.
That never gets old.
No. Well, I mean, I never had a walk-off 3-run home run in the ninth inning, so I don't know, but I would imagine that's a pretty good feeling.
You had some things that were pretty equivalent.
Chipper leads off the 8th against Rex Brothers, with the Rockies up 6-0. Those of us who never played Major League Baseball always guess that that's what you ex-players miss the most, are moments like that after a team win.
That's probably a fair assessment. Stuff like that, you know, the camaraderie. That's the stuff you miss.
I played a long time, and I missed enjoying that when I played. So,
yeah, well,
but I don't think anybody in Braves country could have scripted the kinds of magical, belief-defying moments that Chipper Jones has provided so far this year, and there's still a month of baseball left,
including Chipper Jones.
Right.
Sharply hit. Nice pickup. Rutledge for out number 1. Tom?
Well, there's belief defying, then there's gravity defying, which is seemingly what David Ross was able to pull off, celebrating Chipper Jones' walk-off home run. He's one of the first out of the dugout. Look at this leap. We showed it to him earlier today. He said the beauty of this is I had Reed Johnson behind me, and what he saw when I landed is as soon as I landed, I grabbed my side and went, oh, my side. So when we got to the plate, Reed jumped on my back, and I said, get off, you're hurting my side. He said, no, I'm not. You hurt it when you tried to jump so high. I told David that I thought he could perhaps clear a couple of Atlanta phone books with that jump.
At least. I was teasing Jason Hayward because I said, you can really hop, and teasing him about his celebration when he was coming out of the dugout, and he started laughing, and he said, I have no idea what I was doing. He said, I couldn't tell you what I did. All I know is I was excited.
I'm just glad that nobody got hurt. I mean, you think about,
watch Jason, see him over there on the rail, hopping over first. Hop, hop, hop.
I mean, when we saw the Giants, remember we were asking Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow, when's Aubrey Huff coming back? Well, they said he's working his way back through the minor leagues. As Freeman's down on strikes. Huff got hurt jumping over the rail, celebrating Matt Cain's perfect game.
Well, you see it all the time. Who was it with the Angels that blew out their knee a couple years ago? And
Kendry Morales?
Yeah, home plate
first
celebration.
at the plate, yeah.
That's stuff like that. You're always kind of cringing. You see everybody hopping around and doing stuff, and you're just like, oh, man. Somebody land wrong or step on something or.
Rex Brothers is dealing, folks. He struck out 3 men, and he's got Martin Prado up there. I have some big news in the American League East by the time this night's over. The Baltimore Orioles started play tonight 1 game behind the Yankees. Baltimore destroyed Toronto tonight 12-0. The Yankees are losing 5-2 in the 9th inning to Tampa Bay.
Sorry, every year there's a team. Every year.
And this year it might be Baltimore. Rex Brothers has 4 strikeouts, and we head to the 9th inning. Hope you'll stay with us for Braves Live tonight, presented by AT&T. We'll hear from Freddie Gonzalez. We'll get sound from the locker room, and we'll take a look at all of tonight's highlights, which unfortunately all belong to the Rockies so far in Game 2 of the series.
3 of the runs unearned, I believe. I know the 2 that Moylan gave up were unearned. I think 1 of the ones for Durbin was unearned. Braves have made 3 errors tonight. That's the most errors they have made in a game since they made 4 on April 9th at Houston. And on that night, you might remember, Juan Francisco made 3 errors. And since then, there have been 12 games where they've made 2 errors, but not 3 like they have tonight. 2 on 1 play. Although I still contend that ball to Freddie Freeman was a base hit that was ruled an error.
And it is subject to change. The Commissioner's office could overrule that scoring. But for the moment, the error stands as Batista's ready to go for the top of the Colorado order. Dexter Fowler a little late and fouls it to the left side. Strike 1. Fowler into the right field corner is going to have another hit. And he moves on the base paths almost as if he never touches the ground.
Just glides, doesn't he?
Beautiful.
You know, his first year he got called up for a goodly amount of time. In 2009 he hit 266. The next year he hit 260. Last year he hit 266. So I think his offseason work that he put in with Tulowitzki, working out with him and Jambi to get a little stronger, has really paid off for him, and he's done it in the right way and using his speed in the right way. And look at it, it's also added to his long balls with 13.
Well, just think how devastating he can be on the base paths if he can continue to make the consistent contact that he is. Early in his career, as you're mentioning, he didn't make an awful lot of contact. But he does have a 5 stolen base game in the major leagues.
Yeah, I thought of him as one of those guys you can knock the bat out of his hands. Quite frankly, I just didn't think he was strong enough on a full schedule to be able to hold up. And that's what I said last night, was that sometimes that conditioning, that workout, helps your body prepare for a 162 game schedule as much as anything. It may not make you look like the body beautiful, but Helps you for the long haul.
Josh Rutledge drills one deep left center field. Michael Bourne back on the warning track, leaps at the fence, makes the catch, and Fowler's at third base as he tags up without number 1. But to finish the point on Fowler, he has 117 career stolen bases. He has won 5 stolen base game. Ricky Henderson, 1,406 stolen bases, has won 5 stolen base game. Lou Brock, Tim Raines, never had a 5 stolen base game in their careers. So the way the game is changing, Dexter Fowler, as he continues to grow and develop as a big league hitter and runner, might be looking at a superstar in the making.
Well, it seems like it's a similar conversation we've had about a number of guys over the course of the year that you just scratch your head and look at them and say, why aren't they shorting their swing? Why don't they put the ball in play more? Well, and he seems to figure out a way to do that.
Here's Charlie Blackmon, former Georgia Tech star. Infield in. I think we may have forgotten to mention him when we talked about all the guys from the Southeast that are with this Colorado team. Blackmon had a pinch hit appearance last night and struck out against Chris Medlin. And that's fouled toward Chipper Jones, and he'll snag it. And Blackmon's second out. Dexter Fowler tried to put an illegal screen on Chipper on this play. He's too far away. And Rosario another chance. The Yankees, by the way, did lose. So Baltimore's caught them in the AL East.
Tampa Bay is knocking on the door. That's a tight race all of a sudden.
Tampa Bay was my preseason pick for that division.
I picked Baltimore.
I'm sure you did.
Spoken like a guy who didn't get into Harvard. Evan Longoria, I think, hit a big home run tonight. And the Rays team ERA for the last month and a half, 2 months, is around 2.5. Remarkable job by Joe Madden and his staff. But still some work to be done for the Rays. Still outside looking in the East. And 2-2 to Rosario. The other very great story in the American League is the Oakland A's. They started play tonight as the AL wildcard leader. And they're only 4 games behind Texas out west. They had either the Rangers or the Angels winning that division. I know Tom had Oakland winning the wild card.
I'm pretty sure I picked Oakland to win the wild card.
But then lost Bartolo Colon and haven't skipped a beat. That's a great story. Renaissance seasons in Baltimore, in Oakland, Pittsburgh, trying to get above 500 or stay above 500 and get into the postseason.
Would you call Boston a Renaissance team too?
All kinds of issues.
In opposite directions.
That's a mess, isn't it?
Lost 7 in a row.
Toward third, Chipper with a backhand. He'll make the cut to first. And Miguel Batista works a scoreless top of the ninth. Braves need a big rally, but hey, we've seen them do it before. 6-0, Colorado the lead.
Right, so you don't get blocked out of the call like he was.
Thank you.
Play of the game, and we go all the way back to Chipper Jones at bat in the first inning when he sent a ground ball to the left side of the Rockies infield. Chipper hustled this one out, and good thing because the throw was low and wide and it pulled the first baseman off the bag. Rookie umpire Jordan Baker called Chipper out, but right on top of it was home plate umpire Scott Berry. He came 45 feet up the line to see and say that the first baseman's foot came off the bag. Guys, I just talked to Bruce Fremming, who for 37 years was the longest tenured umpire in Major League history. He's now a special assistant to the vice president on umpiring to Major League Baseball, and he told me that that was an instinct call by Berry, and it's the best instinct call he has ever seen in his years of baseball.
Wow, what a compliment that is.
Heck yeah. And you could understand why Jordan Baker made the call that he made. Just in looking at that angle, there's no way he could see whether the foot of the first baseman was actually on the bag. I'm sure it looked like it was.
But might have been a little out of position, too. He might have been too far into fair territory to be able to see his foot because of that angle, blocked by the body of the first baseman. A little closer to the line, he's got a better look at the bag and the foot.
Well, they got it right.
They did.
And what a compliment, as Joe said, for Scott Berry. Well deserved. So Matt Belisle takes over for the Rockies in the bottom of the ninth inning. Jason Hayward will lead things off. The Braves, at the very least, would like to avoid the shutout. Colorado has pitched 5 shutouts this year. And Hayward hits one into the seats and foul for strike 2.
Rodney Lemon said it wasn't a complete game shutout, but
pretty good chance. Belisle, a former Brave, was traded to the Reds for Kent Merker several years ago. Now 2-2. Mike Minor and Alex White, game 3 here tomorrow night. Then a 12 o'clock start on Thursday afternoon, getaway day for both clubs. Colorado will head to Philadelphia. The Braves will make their way to New York. 3 with the Mets, 3 with Milwaukee. Then back home Friday the 14th against Washington. And Hayward is down swinging. 1 away in the 9th.
Guys, remember a little while ago we were talking about how it's conceivable, I mean it's unlikely, but that your pitchers for the Rockies, if this kept up, you could go all year and your starting pitcher never get a win, which loads up wins for guys in middle relief. Well, listen to this. Brothers, who just came out of the game, has 8 wins, all in relief. You got Ottavino, 44 games, all in relief. He's got 5 wins.
David Ross with a hit. 2-hit game for the Braves catcher.
Renicky, 53 games, all in relief, 4 wins. If they hang on and win tonight, Torres probably will get the win. That would be 4 wins for him. So they've stacked up already this year a lot of wins out of their bullpen even before they went to this change.
And we were joking earlier too, Joe. Tom and I and you have 6 or 7 questions for Jim Tracy about this pitching experiment. Most obvious one is how long would they continue to do it if you're going to have starting pitchers who you want to keep happy and let them win too.
Well, I'm with Tom talking about development of young starting pitching. It's kind of hard to do when you're looking over your shoulder at your pitch count instead of the batter's count.
Yeah, I mean, it's can't tell you how much you learn from that 5th inning on, and learning how to pitch when you're tired and turning the lineup over for the 3rd and 4th time. And these guys are never getting to do that.
Lyle Overbay pinch hits, down 2 strikes. And he held up. Tom Hart will try to check in with Jim Tracy, the Colorado skipper, before the game tomorrow. Tom brings him a cheeseburger. I know Jim will talk to him.
I'm going to go on another limb here and say that this won't be the first time he's been asked about it in a city, and he's probably tired of talking about it.
Make it a double, Tom. Well, we were talking last night whether it works or not, we don't know. But you have to respect the fact that the Rockies are they were doing has not worked consistently or for any length of measurable time.
Well, at the same time, they changed pitching coaches. Bob Apodaca stepped down. There was quite a changeover in terms of what they were thinking, what they were doing in an effort to try something new.
Overbay hits the ball to second. Colorado completes the double play and the shutout. The strategy for Jim Tracy's club worked to perfection. They score 6 runs, they get 10 hits and 3 Atlanta errors, and they've evened the series at a game apiece.